3, 2, 1. All right, welcome back to episode 28 of the Save Point podcast. We need to be taken out to the field with the doggies that aren't feeling good because 28 is too long.
Going up to Grandma's farm.
Going to Grandma's, dance in the kitchen with Grandma. Shout out a very specific amount of people who would understand that reference.
Oh, God.
ABC for Kids Music Volume 2 or something.
Yeah, something weird.
Like 93. Hectic. All right, so.
That'd be cool for the set.
That would.
I've got them.
I threw mine out.
I've got them somewhere. I know I have them some.
Maybe I do still have them up there. I might. We'll have a look. We'll leave it for now. We might have some cool additions for the set. Or we could probably find them on eBay for like $10. A couple of weeks ago, we did something. Get off your phone.
I'm looking at what they're called. Video hits.
Yeah, we'll look at it later. A couple of weeks ago, we did something cool. It was... What are you laughing at?
Newspaper mama.
Yes. my little baby bubby?
Yeah.
Radical Wheels, watch them burn. Oh. Radical Wheels, turn.
Monster Mash.
Monster Mash.
What's the meatball?
I don't remember.
On top of spaghetti.
Mm-hmm. He's about it.
It's like I used to work in childcare and listen to these all the time.
Bro, this was like
Weird
30 years before you were doing that.
Yes.
These things came out.
Yes.
All right, enough of that.
Do you think that any schools ever got to update their shit? No.
God, I love those videos so much.
Yeah, they are cool. We need to watch them afterwards.
Yes, they are good.
Yeah. Okay. So what we did a couple of weeks ago is we did a very terrible list on bracketfight.com of best video games of all time. Mm-hmm. Some of the entries were very confusing. So we had good ones. Zelda, Breath of the Wild. We had Half-Life 2. Singer-Star. What happened to Edith Finch? Like all your big hitters.
Nobody knows.
No one knows.
Nobody knows.
It didn't make it past the first round. So we know that happened, but we don't know else. What else? So we went back and we went into the labs. We were thinking. We cooked. We were going, what else could we think of? The clips for that video went good, so
we need to cook Mr. White.
So we're going to do it again, but this time it is video game protagonist bracket fight. So this one's going to be freaking interesting. We're going to shuffle the seed. We're going to restart this thing, and we're starting off straight away with a big hitter for Brock. We've got Tracer from Overwatch versus Sonic.
The blue hedgehog himself, Speed.
The blue smear?
Blue blur.
Blue blur.
Blue balls.
Does he bleed blue?
Yeah, has Sonic ever bled?
Stand for blue?
Yes. Not in the games though.
In the what?
In the
black and white comics?
No, in the spin-off animated series.
Sonic X.
In some of them, in Sonic X, he got like that usual typical anime thing where they're just like,
they got hashtags on their face.
Yes.
Just,
but then it's like, it's slightly colored red.
Who's faster?
I mean, Sonic.
How do you know?
Because he can break the speed of sound.
We need Sonic versus Tracer at the Olympic Games.
Tracer just rewinds time.
Tracer can break the speed of light.
Sonic wins.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Sonic wins.
I don't want to give it to Overwatch.
Yeah, no. Tracer was like a big mascot for a little bit, and then Tracer became a big mascot of Rule 34. Okay.
And there's that one song that had Tracer in it.
No,
I can't think what it was.
Tracer. Okay, we got Link versus
someone from Monster Hunter. I'm gonna say Link.
Link? Yeah.
I don't even know who that other person is called. I'm sure it's from Monster Hunter.
Who even is you? All right, we'll do Link and that. All right. Here we go. Okay, here we go. We've got finally a decent one.
Leon Kennedy.
Leon S. or Leon Scott Kennedy versus Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War. So, as a massive Resident Evil fan, I love Leon.
Yeah.
I will say, in those games, there isn't much character development.
No,
you see in Resident Evil 2, there's like Lost with like Ada, and there's a bit of stuff in Resident Evil 4, and there's a bit in 6, and a couple little spin-offy things. It's all movies.
Yeah. Happens during cutscenes. It doesn't happen like during play.
Where, as much as I dislike to say it, Marcus Phoenix actually has an arc.
Yeah.
There is backstory. There's stuff going on. When people think of Gears of War, they still think about certain story beats.
Well,
Admittedly, they weren't to do with him generally.
what I will say is, how do we want to? I know we're this like 3 tiers in. How do we want to actually judge these? Do we want it to be like in a straight up fight who would win, or who do we think is the more
better
memorable
character? That's what it is. Best video
Okay.
game protagonist, not who's going to win a fight.
I would say Leon. For me,
Yeah, I want to say Leon as well, but I don't actually think he is really. Like, in what way? He's just more recognizable because it's a bigger series.
it is, but he's also been in, like, he's still in the most recent ones, isn't he?
No, he's not. He's in Resident Evil 2, he's in Resident Evil 4, and he's in Resident Evil 6.
As a playable character, but isn't he like in?
No, he's not in them. That's what I'm saying. He's only in 2, 4, and 6.
Who's the background character who goes around with Ethan in the?
Chris.
Oh, right.
Chris has got way more depth. Chris is still,
Sorry,
like, people like
yeah.
Leon more than Chris, but Chris is known as like boulder puncher, blah blah blah.
I have the Leon skin in Rainbow.
Okay,
That is my only input in this conversation.
That's my contribution.
Yep.
But you mean you played Gears of War, didn't you, Brock?
I played through the second one with my partner's brother. No, it was the first one. Sorry. It was, it was fun, but I have
The first one had probably the worst story out of them, I would say.
I also feel like,
Mad World.
yeah, that's it. I remember them. I still think Leon wins between them two.
Leon, yeah, I mean, I'm not disappointed, but I will say I think Marcus Phoenix had more character development and time spent with him than Leon has.
I'm not going to disagree with that,
Yeah.
but I still, like, if I'm going to go back and play one of these 2 games, I'm going back to play RE4.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I do want to go back and play through the Gears of War games at some point.
I will
It's
say,
not at the top of
actually,
my list, though.
while we're on this, Gears of War is, I think, uncredited for third-person shooters. RE4 made them, but Gears of War didn't come out too much later.
They definitely made it popular for sure. I don't know if they really.
I really Resident Evil 4 definitely was
I'm now trying to.
the third-person shooter
I know there's
game.
tons of them now, but I'm trying to think of any others
there
like
really
around the
wasn't.
PlayStation 64 era.
No, there wasn't. There really wasn't. Not like this. And Gears of War came out like a little, like maybe within a year of RE4. Not enough that what are you going to say? It's going to be some dumb thing.
Did Perfect Dark have a mode where you could toggle between first and third
Dark
person?
is first person.
Yes, I know it's first person. Did it have a toggle like
to my knowledge.
third person mode?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
And are we talking about the original or are we talking about Zero?
The 64 version.
Oh, 65.
Nintendo,
It's coming
Nintendo
out.
65.
Finally, the Super Mario 128 round the corner. But yeah, let's go Leon. But like I said, yeah, Gears of War doesn't get that much of that notoriety for being one of the first third-person shooter games.
Yeah.
It was the first one to really popularize cover, though.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's a lot of games around that era. Like I remember I had some PS2 game.
Yeah,
and like PS3 game where it was literally like you're attacking like a hallway and it's just you move to cover with different waves.
Yep. That was this.
It copped a lot of flack for that at the start, and then by the second game, everyone's like, no, this is the way it should be.
Also, the game that invented horde modes.
Yeah, I'd give it that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was called Horde. It was the one who did it. Like, I remember playing in Gears of War 3. It was really fun. Some of that, the stuff you could do, like, with your mates and that. Oh,
Is there a horde mode in Warhammer?
maybe.
Which one?
The new one.
There's so many. Which one do you mean?
The one we bought in the last like 6 months.
Space Marine.
Space Marine, yes.
Kind of. It's.
I feel like that would be the type of game that would suit a horde mode.
It should have a horde mode. It doesn't though. Not unless it's just part of the story where it's like, hey, survive here for 10 minutes, and then it'll just throw enemies.
Nothing besides Call of Duty Zombies, I think, has a properly fleshed out horde mode that I can think of.
You could argue Days Gone, but it's a little bit different to just a normal horde mode.
Yeah.
Because you just fight hordes of zombies and that's the challenge and that's it. But
Yeah, no, that's
baked into the story though.
Yeah,
It's not like a separate
yeah.
mode.
That's what I mean, yeah. Gears of War 3 was probably the closest I can think of. I think the new ones had some more stuff, but whatever. All right, Leon, let's go to the next thing. Ellie versus Peabody and Atlas from Portal. Well, let's just say...
Can we use this version of Ellie, not the one from the second game?
Yeah.
Because
I will say,
the TV
the
show.
other week, Ben didn't even know that these were two characters.
Yeah.
Nah.
He didn't know about Peabody Atlas. I will say for mute robots, a lot of personality.
A lot of personality, a lot of character. Not much character development though, other than what they start with.
Oh, don't you at the end of the co-op campaign you like go against GLaDOS?
Maybe.
I think
it's been
so,
like
like
12 years since I played it. I don't remember.
We got to say Ellie, but I mean for what they are, they're very good characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or with characters who don't talk, you have to make them enthusiastic and have
Well,
movement.
Valve's really good at it.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got Peabody Atlas, they got Shell from Portal, who has immense personality for probably the most deadpan slate character I think I've ever seen in a game.
Yeah.
And then obviously Gordon Freeman from Half-Life. But there's so much world building around him and then existing lore to do with that character, so it makes sense. I think Shell's a bit more impressive with that.
I like the idea of Valve just looking at all their main players, just being like, one less voice actor we got to hire.
Yeah. All right.
Ellie though. Yeah.
Ellie Doe.
Ellie do win.
Kratos versus the Doomslayer. If we went back to God of War 1 to Ascension, Doomslayer hands down. Kratos, I mean, there's some cool stuff. Can you stop kicking my legs? Kratos has got some cool stuff in some of those games.
The development from God of War 2018 to Ragnarok to the the free DLC.
Valhalla. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
But you know what? I think the Doomslayer, if you're counting all the Doom games, technically it's the same person, is more iconic.
But
He's
are we
more iconic,
are we
for sure.
talking on character development? Because that's what the other two tiers were.
Not necessarily. I think it's a big aspect of it. And that is in the new Doom
He
as well.
gets some development to his character, not as much as Kratos does.
No.
Especially in these later games.
Yeah, I mean, there is a bit, like, have you played Eternal?
I haven't played it directly, no.
Okay, so you don't know.
I sat behind someone else who played
There's a
it.
fair bit of stuff in that.
There is, yeah. But
It
I would
explains
argue,
why.
I would argue that most of what happens to him, similar to what we said to Leon before, it happens in cutscenes and flashbacks. It doesn't happen like all his trauma and
that's
everything
different
is
to what I'm saying with Leon. I don't think you've played Resident Evil as much as I thought then, because a lot of the stuff development with him is off screen. In Resident Evil 2, Leon is just a cop on his first day.
I know, yeah.
In Resident Evil 4, without any
he's looking
explanation,
for the president's daughter.
he's like a super high up CIA agent type of thing, and there's no explanation. He's just way more cocky now. He's a good character, but there's nothing there. They don't show that.
Okay, I thought you meant about the development that happens to him. The player is not in direct control of.
No, I mean you don't see it at all in the game.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Where in Doom 2016 they go, they don't show much, and then it's alluded to things, and then in Eternal that they really delve in and they say, hey, the guy from Doom 1 and 2 is this same guy.
Yeah, because he got trapped in hell.
He got trapped in hell, and then he goes back in time. All this stuff, and he basically becomes immortal and all these things.
The Argentum or whatever it is.
Yeah. But Kratos is good as well. I just feel like Doom guy might be a little bit more recognizable just because of especially that original Doom box art.
Yeah.
Well, I think that people are still putting Doom on calculators and PDF files, and like it's always up.
What do you say about Brock? Yeah, no, but I
every
agree.
6 months I'm seeing a new way to play Doom, and like that sticks with people.
Yes. What are we thinking? Let's do it.
This honestly might come down to a coin flip for this one.
I'm going Kratos, just because I've played a lot more God of War than I have Doom.
Yeah, see,
and those
I haven't played any. Well, I've played one of the original God of War games.
Yep.
Everything else was like
You telling me you
playing
didn't
around
fuck
with
Aphrodite?
2018. No, I didn't.
you're missing out. It was a lot of butter mashing.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yes.
What are
button
we-
mashing? Sure.
What are we thinking? Kratos versus Doom Guy. Who's better?
I'm still going Kratos, just purely from Valhalla with all that linking it back to the first game and going back through the other games with Hermes.
I've got way more experience with Doom Guy, so I'm going to say Doom Guy.
Oh, you're a sheep.
I don't know. I feel like Kratos is
you-
more of a sheep. That's like the
I
new age,
say-
like trendy sort of character to like. You freak.
Every man shaved head bald. He's
Yeah.
bald and has a beard.
Oh.
If we just went down to being able to express their own character, Kratos can at least talk.
Yeah.
Doom Guy, it's all just grunts and
Yeah.
action. You know what? Screw it. Give it to Kratos.
Okay, let's do Kratos. But
This would have been a good final tier.
yes,
Yeah.
100%. This is very early on for this. All right, next one. Solid Snake versus Bayonetta.
Oh, that's an easy win.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say Snake. There is so much development with Snake.
Yeah, there is some with Bayonetta, but
Also,
part of the draw for those games
Yeah,
was
yeah.
there's a reason why those games
Yeah,
were.
there's a reason
Yeah,
they would
anyway.
love it if Bayonetta was bald. Let's just say that. But Solid Snake over Bayonetta, surely. All right.
She's not a bad character, but
No,
yeah,
100% not. But I mean, it's
Yeah.
Snake.
There's not
Mario
a better
versus-
comparison.
Oni.
Oni.
Yeah.
Ori, isn't it?
Ori, sorry. Yeah, I
Oni's
don't
the
know.
fucking PS2 game by Bungie.
Yeah.
I think Mario clears here.
I think.
Surely,
yeah.
like you can't.
I
debate
don't
that
want
one.
him to win, but yeah,
No, I
Ori,
mean-
I
If it
liked
comes to-
Ori, but
if it comes down to Mario and Sonic, hectic.
All right. Was it
Hollow Knight, man.
Hollow Knight versus Red? You don't know anything about Red.
what do you mean?
I mean, like you play as Red. Like Red beats the Elite Four
But is
and
your
becomes Pokemon
He's also
champ.
the main character of the Pokemon comics.
That's a different Red.
we're talking about video game protagonist, not comic book
Yeah,
protagonist.
I know exactly what you mean, Brock, but I think they've established that it's a different one.
Yeah,
but
fair.
even then, like part of his character development in the game is your development as you play the game.
Yeah.
So is it really? Are
It's
you
a-
the protagonist?
I haven't
or-
played Hollow Knight, but I do get from the little bits I've seen play, like I sort of feel like the character's got a little jovialness, like happy and I don't know, like. Or you know what? I'm gonna say Hollow Knight just because people don't even know. Half the time, you'd show them that photo and be like, Ash.
Yeah, I could definitely see people doing
See,
that.
I'm leaning more to Red just because I love that design for Pikachu.
I like the design of Red as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are we thinking? You two, decide.
I've spent way more time playing Pokemon Red and Blue than I have Hollow Knight.
All right, we're doing Red then.
Yeah, Red.
Red.
If Ash for some reason comes up, which I don't think he will, just wipe him off the board.
Oi, Brock is about to shoot himself in the head. It is Sonic versus Link. He, I think, before was just wearing a Zelda shirt.
No, I think it was
But he wears a Zelda shirt half the time, and he's currently wearing a Sonic shirt.
it was Dungeons and Dragons.
He loves
Yeah.
feet like Sonic, and he
Oh,
loves.
Fuck off with that.
It's Sonic versus Link. Brock's two favorites. What are we gonna do here?
We let Brock decide. We let his brain boil over until
I've got an answer.
Yeah, so do I.
You go first.
I think Sonic,
Yeah, I'm going
because
Sonic.
Link is a billion
That's Zelda.
characters.
That's Zelda. That's not Link, that's Zelda.
If you technically go through it, Link is
It's
a ton of different characters.
Yeah, it's a different incarnation of the hero each time.
And I will
yes.
say it's saying protagonist, like you would clump them all together, but because it's so distinct and different between them, there's like Toon Link and things like that. It's not, you
Yeah,
can't get it all the same.
And
So
I-
I reckon Sonic.
Up until the last few years, like since Breath of the Wild, I think if you showed anyone a cover of, you showed someone Link, they would just go, that's Zelda. If they haven't played any games, that's
Oh,
the
that
version.
hasn't, that
I-
hasn't been just since
Yeah,
then.
that
That's
hasn't
always
been
been
a
the
thing
thing.
for a while.
But yes, I would Sonic wins.
Sonic clears.
Sure.
You think Sonic?
I can't really decide on that one. 'Cause I-
Surely you think Sonic.
No, not really. Because like I love the Sonic games, but I also like if I'm gonna sit down and play a game for a long time, I want something that's with longevity. I'm gonna grab Zelda.
No, but that's not what the question is. It's best
Who's the
protagonist.
best protagonist?
Who's the best protagonist between the two of them?
He's going to say Link again. You go.
No, go Sonic.
I will say.
Your whole world is
So
shattered if you were
we've
going to pick
gone.
Link.
We've gone through.
I was almost gonna pick Link just because like I'm
I was just going to say, we've gone through this thing and you've changed what you thought the question of this bracket is about 4 times. It's best protagonist.
Okay.
Just letting you know. But Sonic's actually got a character that's gone through years of games and different things.
And
It's
weird
the same
relationships.
Sure, yeah.
Children.
No.
Yes.
Ellie versus Leon. This is easy. I reckon Leon between these two.
If we're going back on the same thing, if also character development, I would go Ellie.
Yeah.
Character development, but did you like that character development?
I did until the second game, but that's not Ellie from the second game.
Yeah, but I think it means Ellie in general.
Well,
Because it's best protagonist. So I enjoy Leon in every game. I don't enjoy Ellie in every game.
Well, that's the thing with The Last of Us is if we go solely off game 1, you play as Joel for the majority.
We're not going off game 1. This is entire series. This is always going to be entire series because it's protagonist. It's not that singular game. It's the entire
I'm
series.
still going to go Ellie because I haven't played any of the Resident Evil games.
I'm going to say Leon. Charismatic. Where's everyone going? Bingo.
Leon.
Ellie
Leon.
has that.
Okay.
There's a cool line about the.
Just coin flip.
Oh, yeah, you freak. All right.
How did that high five feel with this ring spinning on
He
you?
barely touched me.
Yeah, I didn't
Right.
reach far enough.
Oh, Kratos versus Solid Snake. I 100% think Snake, not just because I am Metal Gear cucked, but there is so much more development with this character.
I mean, just purely off the amount of cutscenes and how long
What
the
do you mean,
games are.
Are you serious?
Brother, they're the longest games in the world. It has to be Snake. If there's no development,
Yeah.
the game sucks.
Also,
Yeah,
more,
okay,
more,
fine,
more,
yep,
more
yep.
iconic, I think.
Oh, I don't think at all.
I
there.
reckon, maybe not as much these days, but in general,
If you put those two characters to anyone on the street at the moment, at least 50% would get, oh yeah, that's Kratos, or at least, oh, that's that angry person.
That's
God.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
no.
You show them that, they're like, oh, I don't know, is it
Boy George.
Also,
no.
I think you've got to think, one thing that we get very blinded by is that there is characters in games that are very big in certain countries and no one cares about in other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where Metal Gear has been one of those few Japanese games that has been worldwide. It was a poster child for PlayStation. I reckon a lot of
I
people
would
be
say
like,
so
that's
is-
Snake. They might not say Solid Snake, they'll say Snake. I don't think Kratos
I think
Has that
Kratos
yet.
is way more recognizable.
Again, we're not talking about who's the most recognizable.
No, we're
it's
talking about who the best
protagonist.
protagonist is.
Yeah, it's
I reckon Snake.
how
There's
many
been so much.
hours of cutscenes are in the last Metal Gear Solid game?
The last Snake's actually not in the last one, but there's not many.
The last one he's in.
In 4, there's 8 hours.
Yeah. If there's no character development in 8 hours, then you're making a shit video game.
Yeah, there is a lot.
So, default it goes Snake.
I'm happy to do that, but I don't think that should be our metric.
No, but
How much does he actually change through the game,
A
or
lot,
is it more
a
the
lot.
characters around him?
No, he
changing?
changes a lot. There's for example, I don't want to spoil Metal Gear.
no, I
but
kind of want to play them all, but I want to have
the
be able to-
first Metal Gear Solid game, he's getting pulled out of retirement, and he's a young man.
Yeah,
And then I don't know if I should say
he's a
stuff.
young
because it
man but
spoils.
getting pulled out of retirement.
I'm
No,
getting
that's
too
the
old
thing
for
is
this
that
shit.
the first 2 missions he went on, I think the second game he actually gets pulled out. His first mission is like set up to fail. This is Metal Gear 1, like
Yeah.
80s. You're going to fail this. This is just like to fuck you off and get rid of you type of thing.
You're expendable.
Against the odds, blah, blah, blah. The first 2 games aren't super convoluted story-wise. In the first game, there is a lot of self-reflection and understanding who you truly are and things like that. And not just a soldier, he's actually ends up being a dog musher in Alaska. And then he becomes like basically a terrorist, but for like an eco-terrorist. And all this thing. There's a lot of stuff in Metal Gear. It's very, very deep, as you'd think, for 8 hours of game.
That's one game.
Yeah. In Metal Gear Solid 4, at the start of the game, if you leave the screen as is, it's him walking up to a grave, looking there, smoking, then he pulls a gun out, and then it pans off and you hear a gunshot. And you press start, and you don't know what happens. You can play through the whole thing. There's heaps of stuff. I really suggest playing it. The game's getting very old now, but I think Snake is a better character.
I'll just pick up the.
I think
Fine.
Naked Snake's better, big boss, but we'll go Solid Snake for now.
All right.
Mario vs. Red.
Red.
Really?
Yes.
There's over 350 games.
To be fair, I don't really know much about Mario. I don't really know much about Red.
I don't know enough. Yeah, I know. What games do I enjoy playing more? Being those protagonists would be Pokemon, and I would go Red.
Yeah.
You know, we can go Red. I would say I think that
Mario vs Sonic would have been epic.
I do think Mario would
Clear Sonic.
No, I think you have more fun with Mario.
You struggled with the only debate you had a good chance in, which was Link versus Sonic, and you struggled, nearly went Link.
Because I like both of those characters a lot.
There's nothing to Red though. That's what I'm getting a little bit annoyed about.
What
What
nothing
is
to Mario either.
Yeah, but Mario's got
Mario's
more
a
adventures
cuck.
and things like that. Yeah.
Peach gets
Also,
taken every week, and then he
recognizable
goes back
wise,
for
if
back.
you're saying recognizable wise,
Mario wins.
100%.
Mario wins that, but that's not the thing that we're measuring. We're measuring best protagonist, which
but that's
I'd
an
still
aspect
say
of
that's
it.
Red.
But I would like to know in what way.
In what ways? I far more enjoy the games there playing as that character than playing as that
That's
character.
not the thing.
I find
That's not the thing. It's
Can I
best protagonist.
finish?
Whoa. All right, we can stop now if we want to get shitty. Fucking hell.
I'm tired of getting interrupted. My God.
I'm going to take your name off this list before I get killed. Sorry, unalived.
I far more enjoy the games where I play as that character there as the protagonist than I enjoy
What's the character?
that Red. Then I enjoy that game playing as Mario.
But that's not what the question is. That's what we're saying.
Best protagonist.
That's
How
not
else can
how-
we measure it if it's like, who do I enjoy playing as more? Who do I find more engaging and interesting to play as? That character.
If that was the metric,
not that character.
Bayonetta should have won then. You
No.
have more fun because you want to see her tits the whole time. No, but the only thing is, what is there to Red?
Gotta catch
Fair,
them all.
he's
That's
a
what I mean.
one-dimensional character. He is what the player
Yeah, I think
reflects on.
Mario,
Correct.
for how many games is also very much like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I feel like it's Mario. There's a lot of other factors.
It's only the spin-off games that he really has a personality.
Oh, 100%.
But then,
besides, he wants a cake in 64.
But like with
What
Red,
type, though?
like I said earlier, in the games you're playing as Red, you're the character development, not Red himself.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah,
he's a vessel. The whole game is nothing to do with him at all. It's about you getting your team beat the Elite
Also,
Four.
Red's only in 2 games.
Yeah.
And
He's
it's
just-
a remake of the first game. Oh, 4 games then.
He's in a few as a he doesn't appear as part of the actual story.
Like if you do like main quest, it's only 2. It's the original and then Gold and Silver.
Gold and Silver.
And then the remakes of those 2. He's in the
Yeah,
battle tree thing and whatever, but I mean,
yes, usually like not Gold and Silver. He appeared in Ultimate X and Y or whatever they're called. Ultra Sun and Moon. He appeared in
And the Battle
at the end,
Tower
but he
thing.
appears with Blue in that, and Blue's the only one who talks.
Yeah,
because Blue actually had a bit of personality.
Yeah,
Because he's a
Shit
rival.
personality,
Yeah,
but he had a
yeah, very
personality.
much so.
we don't like Sun and Moon. Next,
Okay, we'll
I
do
think
Red.
we go. Oh yeah, I thought we were going Mario,
No.
but that's alright.
Sonic vs Leon. I don't know why I'm getting deja vu from this.
This one is easy for me. Yeah, I'm gonna say Sonic.
What are you gonna say?
Sonic.
Sonic? I'm happy with that. I mean, it's
We don't want Brock to have a tantrum again.
yeah. We don't want to. Can I finish?
Laura every night.
Yeah. No, we'll do Sonic. I mean, Leon's good, but yeah, it's
Mamma
Sonic.
Mia.
Mamma mia. Snake versus Red. Surely we're going Snake.
Yeah, you're not winning that one, Brock.
Yeah.
No, I said Snake.
You're not winning.
Oh, here we go. My dad could beat up your dad.
Which one of them has dated a child?
Yes.
Neither or
Dang
a
it.
Snake.
No.
I was leaning more towards Sonic.
No, since when he's what?
Who was that weird chickie dater that kissed him and brought him back to life, or whatever
Yeah,
the hell
wasn't
that
she-
was?
I highly
Kid?
doubt that was dating. That was more just like, oh, I'm
I
gonna
don't know
kiss
about
a
you,
dead
bro.
boy.
Okay, I
Okay,
don't
who kissed the child?
Sonic wins.
Who saved a child from terrorists? Solid Snake. For Sonic
Sonic.
to run in and kiss him?
Do you two fight
No,
this?
you go.
No, you two fight this out. That's on. It's another Half-Life versus Breath of the Wild thing.
No, we're not doing that because you couldn't even decide Sonic and Zelda.
Your two
I said
favorite.
do you want to do paper, scissors,
No,
rock?
that's what I'm saying. No, we got to debate this.
Okay.
What's our points for Sonic? Sonic is definitely more recognizable. I'll say that. 100%.
I'm going to hold points up this whole time, so we'll see who's winning at the end.
All right. Sonic's more recognizable. There is actually story and growth with Solid Snake that is in a linear order that makes sense. It's all like, oh, actually, in this canonical thing, you need to see Sonic goes in here, and then in the comics when he kisses Amy Rose, but actually doesn't. Blah, blah, blah. It's a game. Next game, oh yeah, it follows that character again. Oh, there's a lot of growth. Next game, plenty of things through there. Is
Three-dimensional growth.
Iconic, yeah, and also was relevant for a lot longer. Sonic's been around longer, but there was a long period where no one cared about Sonic.
I won't disagree with that.
And then Chris Chan came along.
Yes. I feel like Solid Snake.
He literally did, though.
Solid Snake has been relevant the whole time.
Relevant
that metal
to gamers, not relevant to like
Pop culture.
in general. Yes, the pop culture in general.
One thing I would disagree with that is that a lot of directors and a lot of movies have had referential things to Metal Gear because of how there's a bit more Metal Gear. I mean,
but only fans of the series would pick that up. The general layman, no one's going to pick that up.
But then,
Whereas you have a blue hedgehog run by, 80% of the viewership's going to.
It's Blue Blur.
Blue.
But do you think that they now get more fans and maybe they don't recognize it's Metal Gear because those directors took that from Metal Gear, put it in their movies, now those people have that movie as their favorite movie?
To that.
Yeah, but they don't know what it's from, just like who knows what Tarantino was smoking when he put feet in his movie.
Yeah, no, he looked at Brock's library. Shout out to Bailey. No, I mean, I think there's a lot of things from this series that people recognize, like cardboard boxes, like people sneaking cardboard boxes, the exclamation mark, the noise when you're alerted. I think there's a lot of stuff from this series that has made it into the pop culture zeitgeist.
Maybe they don't know it's from Metal Gear.
Yeah, but it's evolved through.
Whereas
Where
you
Sonic,
have
you don't really.
like a gold ring or the ring noise, you instantly attribute to Sonic.
Yeah, but that's the only one I can think of. Besides Sonic himself and the gold ring, like more the noise than I think the actual ring itself. Just because it's basic enough that you couldn't mistake it for it's a thing for a curtain.
Curtain ring,
gold one at that.
I'm going to need some rebuttal here, Brock, because so far it's 1-0.
It doesn't matter if I rebut it or not. He's got control of it. He's got to
I'll do it.
I'm the deciding
I'll
vote. You two have to give me the argument.
I didn't want to do red, but I mean, I think that's fair.
Everything I say, though, is going to be relevant only to me. You guys aren't going to care.
Like, for example, like I said, he's a lot more relevant. Sonic, 100%. People know Sonic. Like, I will go to the shops and I'll see a kid in a Sonic shirt. That has only been in the most recent time more to do with the movies. As a protagonist,
merch is definitely out there more, yeah.
As a protagonist, I think Snake's better.
I would say that Sonic is a better character, but if we're talking video game protagonist, I would say Snake.
Snake, yeah.
Snake has definitely had more character development over all of his games. Sonic only really started getting development since the 3D titles. All the 2D titles is just like...
Gotta go fast.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Where Snake was getting development from his 2D titles from the 80s. Straight away.
What 2D titles were there?
Metal Gear 1, Metal Gear 2.
Were they not just top-down?
They were 2D. Top-down.
Yeah, but they were 3D models.
No, they weren't.
How do you have 3D models in the 80s?
In 1987. It was on the MSX. It was on the NES. Solid Snake's an older character than Sonic.
Okay, I didn't realize that they were back on that earlier console. I thought the first games were on the PlayStation.
No, MSX. Metal Gear Solid was... See, a lot of people don't know that. There was 2 games before Metal Gear Solid.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that's what if Solid was to represent going into the 3D. Yeah. I feel like... I mean, I'm going to say Snake. Like...
I say Sonic. It's more accessible to a wider audience. I definitely think Sonic is a better protagonist than Snake.
In what way?
In any way that you care to ask me about.
A more interesting character?
For me, yes.
I would... Again, I'm back to Sonic's a better character. In most games, he does the one thing, and that is run quick. That's the one.
I feel like
that's
for what the player gets to control. Yes.
Yes, I mean that's being very, very derivative. But beside that's the main objective is to run.
Yes.
If you took the voice out of it and took his whole character and just made a game about running straight, like Temple Run, would that still be as enjoyable?
I mean, you saw what I was playing just before.
No,
it was
I didn't.
literally that.
I was focused on the job.
It was literally Sonic Dash, which is Temple Run, but with Sonic characters.
Yeah. So I'm still going Snake.
All right, we'll go
Give it to Snake.
Yeah, we'll give it to Snake.
There should be a skip and come back, circle back option.
But no, I'm with Ben. I think Sonic's better as an overall character in every medium. I think in storytelling and gaming, Snake is better.
Definitely
And
more
as a
complex.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I'll give it.
Yeah, even
I won't argue that one with you at all.
You're gonna sell more merchandise with this autistic-looking blue hedgehog there.
Massive
100%.
toes.
Massive toes, big eyes.
You put up a valiant fight, Brock, but you
Also,
won't win
which
that,
one's
unfortunately.
got a better-looking model? Which one has one eye? Which one has two?
They both have one eye.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
No, we're thinking a different guy, the one with the eye patch.
Yeah, you're thinking of Big Boss.
Yeah.
But no, look at Sonic's eyes.
Yeah,
They
he's got
connect.
one. No, they don't connect.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, no, that's what I meant. They're one big eyeball.
Yeah. Okay. Snake. All right. Let's see this other side. Whoa. Wait. Give me a second. There you go. Samus Aran versus Commander Shepard.
I'm going to say Samus Aran.
I want to say Shepard. I don't really know much about Samus besides.
I don't know nothing about any of them.
Yeah, Samus is just a bounty hunter. That's all I know.
I mean, way more than that. Is more people played Mass Effect than played Metroid. I will admit that.
Ah, it's from Mass Effect. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay, I'm clued in now.
That's probably one of the worst photos you could pick. There's way more iconic photos of
Yes.
either Frem Shep or normal Shep. This is a customizable character. That's a downfall of this.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Was that that character changes based on the actions of the player.
Yes.
Because it can be either like you've got the good, evil, neutral parts
yeah.
and all that.
Was it Renegade or?
Renegade and Paragon. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Was Mass Effect Xbox exclusive?
No.
I don't
No.
remember ever seeing it in a PlayStation box.
It came out on the Xbox before it came out on the PlayStation, but was not an exclusive.
The first
it was
game's
a timed exclusive.
The first game's a bit how you going. 2 and 3 are good. People
See-
hated the story in 3, the ending, but
Yeah, 2 basically.
people love 2.
I heard nothing good about Andromeda.
No, it wasn't good.
See, everyone I
it
knew
was good once it was patched.
will
But
get
it
on a
wasn't
game
as
has only
good
been
as
good when they've
2
been
and
fixed.
3. 3 had problems as well.
But even then, like
that was different.
everyone I knew who had played Mass Effect had it and played it on Xbox. There was
Yes.
not one person who
It
played
was
it
a
on
timed
PlayStation.
exclusive.
Yeah.
I didn't really know many people that played Mass Effect. My
No.
cousin did. He had it on PlayStation though.
Like, once I got to year 11 and 12 and met other people that were solely like
When I
Xbox
finally
and
met
that
other
sort of-
people.
Yep.
Yeah.
People that weren't PlayStation,
Yeah.
Sony cucks.
I'm going to say Samus, just because it's a consistent character. And I think that makes for a better protagonist than what a character that is wholly based on what the player does.
Yeah.
And also may not be consistent between the games at all.
So it's back to a red scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
But you don't play Red for the second game.
I think
It's the same, the character arc. You
Yeah.
are the character, hence why it's customizable character.
I will say at least though with Shepard, it's full voiced.
Yeah.
There's a lot of actual character there.
There is, yep.
The voices are pretty iconic for both of them. In the male and the female Shepard. But I mean, very iconic character. But I mean, Samus is more iconic. I would say so. What do you think, Ben?
Samus.
Yeah, I reckon. Samus.
I think I've at least played a Metroid game.
I could go both ways, but I reckon Samus. Yeah. The guy from the front of Dark Souls 3 or Ryu from Street Fighter?
I believe we have to give it to Ryu here.
Yeah.
Is that a protagonist in
Is it a
Dark Souls?
Yeah, is it the player character or is it just
I guess it is just like the whatever they call the character in Dark Souls 3. Yeah, we'll go Ryu. I mean, Ryu does have a bit of backstory. He was the character in the first one. There is actually lore in Street Fighter.
Yeah.
It's decent. You need to usually look into it though. But
Street Fighter 2 is goated.
yeah, it very much is.
And
Aloy
sorry,
versus-
just very quickly, similar to what we were saying about Leon, unfortunately, a lot of it happens off screen between the games.
I forget who we were just talking about. Who were we talking about?
Ryu.
Yeah, there's a lot more on screen though, because
In the newer games, yes.
no,
in the older games,
in general, because it's a fighting game. There is really no story. There's maybe a opening
They
and
have like
end.
quips and stuff to be.
Yeah, there's opening and end
Yeah, they're
little
fighting
cutscene
against
thing.
M. Bison,
Yeah, no.
trying to take over everything.
Yeah, but they don't have story modes besides in Street Fighter 5. Everything else is basically it's like arcade mode. There's an intro and exit cutscene panel
4,
thing.
5, and 6 all had story modes.
4 didn't have one.
But-
Yes, I played 4.
Okay.
There's an intro and exit one, and you could do it for each character and be like, this is what happens to this character if they won, and blah, blah, blah. The same in 2
Yeah,
and
but
3
all the
and
stuff
all.
happens off screen. So my original point.
I'm saying there is a little bit of text, maybe like a paragraph or two at the start and at the end. That's it. Where with who else were we talking about?
The Dark Souls.
No, not Dark Souls, but I'm just with Leon, it's a whole game where it's development, he's talking the whole time, and it's actual story. Like, I don't think they're as comparable.
We're not going to agree on it.
Nope.
I really don't see how you think that a character who doesn't get development and you just fight and there is nothing. Mortal Kombat, I would agree with, because they've got the whole continuing story thing.
The
Mm.
tournament.
Like, since like 9
But see-
onwards only. I mean,
Oh. Again, you're glossing over so much there. There is
How?
stuff that happens in the background of those games.
I know, but what I'm saying,
it happens between the games. The player has no part of it.
yeah, I understand that, but what I'm saying is with Street Fighter, that's basically the only time there's story is between the games. Where in Resident Evil, it was happening in the game as well. Just big, really impactful things happen off screen, and then
okay.
the big stuff happens in the story. Where I was saying with like Mortal Kombat, that happens in the story as well, but the stuff off screen. Because you know, like in the new ones, how it's got all the story mode, where
Yes.
they're actually really good for what they are.
They've gotten good writers recently.
Too bad the
I mean,
movie
not
didn't.
recently, but yeah.
Yeah, they're doing another one, aren't they?
Yeah, hopefully they fix it.
Yeah. Aloy versus
The Dragonborn.
Dragonborn.
I'm going to say Aloy.
Yeah, I have to give it to Aloy as well, purely just because the whole point of the Dragonborn
Yeah.
is that you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You don't have to do the story.
I sort of want to say Aloy as well. I don't really like Aloy as a character. I think
Oh,
boring,
God, no.
boring. But I will say that photo there of the Dragonborn is one of the
Iconic.
most iconic things
Yes.
ever. And also, is there anything that people know in pop culture about Aloy, or even Horizon as a game, where
There's a
for
Lego
years-
version now.
yeah,
That's it.
okay.
I mean,
How many times have you heard people run around? It's been a while.
shouting
But, yeah,
Fush
Rodal. Or it took an arrow to
In
the
the
knee.
knee, yeah.
I mean, I know that's more the game than the protagonist.
But you as the protagonist have to get that line out of the NPC.
Oh,
It is not
it
hard.
happens- yeah,
it's
it
not
happens
hard.
First town you go to, probably.
So
I wouldn't be surprised if it happens during the first dragon attack. You just run past and was like, my knee, an arrow. Like, no. Anyway, I still think Aloy.
Aloy, okay, we'll do Aloy, but we know Aloy
There's some
won't survive.
development there.
Yeah. Cloud Strife versus Mongoose.
How is this even a contest? Okay.
Among Us.
Among Us.
I
Just
don't
being
like Final-
contrarian.
No, I know what game I prefer to play. I know which game I enjoy more. And it's Among Us.
Even if you're going off iconic, I mean, the problem is
They're both very iconic.
no, they are. But I mean, I'm like saying for the Among Us character,
Yeah.
there's a
Current
bunch of them. They're
genera-
just this different color.
Yeah.
I don't see color.
It's just Mortal Kombat Reese colors. It's just reskins.
All right, surely Cloud.
Yeah, I hate it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't like Cloud's design. When people are like Cloud looks so cool, you're wrong.
It's gotten it's
That's
very
yeah.
basic as of recent. Yeah.
All right, so we've got
It's what happens when you remaster the same game 7 times.
exactly. All right, so we've got Sam Porter Bridges versus Master Chief. This is easy.
Yeah, there's not a
Master Chief?
competition.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
100%.
You said that with a question mark at the end of it, like it
Because
wasn't.
I was hoping that I wasn't going to be wrong and that was going to turn into another debate.
Oh, just because it's a Kojima game. No, the story's nowhere near as good as Metal Gear. Just
Drinking
interesting
together.
story, but not,
interesting, but yeah, no.
I still haven't played more than like 10 minutes of it. I don't know when I'm going to find time or want to sit down and play that game through its entirety.
yeah.
I really do want to play it, but I think I have to be.
You know what would be a good experience for that game?
If we have another lockdown, that's when you sit down and play through that again.
Playing that game on a treadmill?
I was originally thinking that, but no. What I was thinking is if you had it, not even necessarily VR, but have you seen the new exoskeleton walking things you get? Like if you every step was in the game, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Trademark. One thing I didn't like about Death Stranding is like some of the combat stuff was actually pretty fun, but
You didn't like that.
no, I liked that, but the problem was it wasn't. It was like such a side thing, like, oh, you should only do this in XYZ scenario. You shouldn't be fighting people, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't designed for you to actually do it much, but some of the mechanics and some of the physics stuff was really fun. So sort of cucked you with it. Like, I mean, like the stuff with Halo, the story in that, I think it's the best probably FPS story that there is.
It's I would say it's among the best.
Us.
Dun, 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 dun.
Definitely one that I can go back and replay
Mm.
with no hesitation.
Good character development.
Yep.
Yeah.
Never sees his face. As
Yep.
it should be.
No.
Yep. Exactly. All right.
Easy
MasterChef.
dub.
Crash Bandicoot or chick from LOL?
Is it?
I don't know. We don't know who that is, so I'm going to say Crash Bandicoot.
Random archer lady.
Wins by default. We really should try and find out who it is.
Well,
'cause
I'll figure it out. All right.
You just want to see titties.
I'll just look through Rock's gallery.
That doesn't
for
mean
that.
we shouldn't find out who it is.
All right. Crash Bandicoot.
All right, let's have a look and see who this woman is.
Oh, Dante versus Nathan Drake.
Oh, I'm on my lock screen. I haven't played much of the.
Lore-wise, I'd say Dante's a more interesting character.
I think he's even just... Oh, no, Nathan Drake's really quippy and witty and like... That's one of the only things I like about
I'm
those
not saying
games.
he's
Yeah.
not,
Oh, no, I never said
but in
that.
terms of like who the character is, it's like, cool, half devil, something or other.
His dad was the devil. He's the
Yeah.
devil or something.
Oh, so he's half devil. Yes?
I wasn't disagreeing with you.
I don't know. Is devil a type of? Yeah.
No, like
loaded
it's singular.
Yeah.
Like the devil, not
Yeah.
demons. Yeah.
Yeah. I just think, yeah, Dante's a far more interesting character than modern day Indiana
Than Mark
Jones.
Wahlberg.
I do think he didn't play that. It was
Yeah, no. Looks like Mark Wahlberg though.
yeah. I do, Nathan Drake, like haven't played all the Uncharted games. It was one of those games like when I was sick, I was like, I'm gonna watch all the cutscenes.
Yeah.
And he's a very likable character. I think all the stuff with Nathan Drake himself in the Uncharted games is really well done. Just everything else there in the games I don't care as much for.
Yeah.
See, my problem with it is I never played the Uncharted games because my choice was between the Uncharted game, whichever one was out at the time, or
Sonic 06.
no.
Tomb Raider.
Sex Divers.
The one where you have the grappling hook and you play as Rico. You can like grapple onto helicopters and like it's all set around.
Just
like,
Cause.
Just Cause. Thank you.
Very different games.
Yes,
Yeah.
very, very different games. My choice was
Much better
between
games
Just
than
Cause
Uncharted.
2 or whatever the Uncharted one that was out at the same time. I chose Just Cause 2. I have not regretted that choice one bit.
Oh, way more replayability in that game.
Yes.
Or you don't even ever have to do the story. You get up to a mission where you unlock something cool, and he's like, "Okay, that's all I'm doing now is grappling on planes."
Yeah. You get the little tiny jet and you're just like, I'm using this forever.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. So we want to do Dante.
I would choose Dante, yes.
Yeah. I mean, Nathan Drake's iconic, but he's also just dude.
He is grizzled white dude stealing things.
Oh, he doesn't really steal.
Recovering
Yeah.
things, sorry.
Yeah. You don't even know the freaking law, bro.
Classic colonizer.
Standard Brock.
Before we move on, just to circle back to the
Archer.
lady.
Archer, yeah, Ash from League of Legends.
There you go. You're
It
right.
was LOL, yeah.
Frost Warrior or
Yeah.
something we don't care
Ooh.
about.
Okay.
Geralt versus
Ezio.
Yeah.
Auditore. All right. You were a big Assassin's Creed fan, weren't you? Yes.
Yep.
And I'm guessing that's your answer. Is Ezio?
Yep. I picked particularly Ezio from Revelations
Okay.
because he's in the
Good
final
choice.
stage of his life.
Yep.
He goes through everything he's done. It goes flashbacks. 10 out of 10.
I do think Ezio is the more iconic out of all the characters in that series.
Yes.
It has the most progression because you see him as young kid and then you see him middle age and then you see
teenager.
him older.
I mean, you play as him in the most games as well, if you include all the spin-offs.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's 2 Brotherhood
And then Revelation.
Revelations.
Wasn't he in another one?
Nope.
No.
He's probably referenced in him. Like
He's definitely referenced in it, but I thought you play as him in another one as well.
there's flashbacks to it. No, but it's
Yeah,
he's
I know
he's
that.
the main for those 3. Because Altair is in the first one, and I'm sure there's
And
something
he's in
there.
Revelations as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, you play as him in 1 mission or 2 missions.
Yeah, but then Geralt is cool, but
I think people recognize Geralt from Witcher 3 more than they do as him as a character in general.
Yeah.
Because no one I know has played the first 2 Witcher games.
yeah, we know
Yeah, you put your hand down. You're a colleague.
you're not a person.
Gee, thanks.
You're a Sonic fan.
You're just a number.
We all are. 5, 5, 6, 4.
I just think Ezio is the much better character. Those games were buggy as all hell, but the story held up. You see him grow throughout the entire trilogy, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
He's probably the only Assassin's Creed character where I give it to you. I hate that series so much now.
Oh,
But
It's so overdone now.
yeah, that's a series that needs to die.
Yeah.
they're gonna do it themselves if Shadows flops.
Oh, bro, I keep forgetting about that. I think it will.
It's due out in like 2 weeks.
No one knows
No
about
less. It comes out on the 20th.
Oh, God.
Because it's on the. I don't know if they've changed the date. We've discussed this about them having it on a historically bad day in Japanese history. Some explosion or something killed a lot of people, unalived a lot of people. And that's the day they're releasing it on the anniversary.
Yeah,
and
sounds good.
they're not refusing to change it. So
That sounds right. All right, so
Ubisoft making
Yeah,
it
what
uber
are you
hard for
thinking?
themselves.
what are you thinking?
I don't want Geralt to lose, but I think it's going to go to Ezio for this one. Just
Ezio,
'cause
yeah.
he goes through. I mean,
He fights the Pope.
he does and wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will go back and play Witcher 3 again. I probably will
Yeah.
never go back and play.
Yeah.
I mean, I did boot up Revelations the other day just to quickly tool around it and be like, oh yeah, that was that. And then,
Hookblade is so cool.
oh, I wish you started with it. It's so annoying.
And all the Leonardo da
first
Vinci
bit.
missions as well.
Yeah. Yeah, the amount of time, like the movement system, I mean, but that's not based on the character, so that's a
He
different.
learns how to do parkour. It's character development.
Yeah.
And do it all like in Brotherhood when you have to do all the quests and stuff to get all the Romulus and Remus armor. Climbing through all
Yeah,
this.
see, I gave up well before that. I was just like, this game's annoying me.
They were easily the best part.
They were.
All right, back to the character. Brock, make a decision.
Ezio's going to win.
Ezio?
I wish it wasn't so, but it is.
I'm with you.
I mean, if it was Connor or Altair or any of those people from the other games, Geralt wipes the
Yeah.
floor.
All right, Samus Aran versus Ryu from Street Fighter.
I'm going to say Samus.
I'm going to go Ryu just because I played more Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason I'm going Samus.
Yeah.
Well, because you played more.
Metroid. Yeah.
I've definitely played more Street Fighter than Metroid.
I just think when the player is controlling that character, Samus undergoes more character development than what Ryu does.
And
It
also,
is a
you know
more
what?
interesting protagonist during those moments.
Oh,
I think there's more interesting things that happen to Ryu but it's all off-screen stuff. And also, besides Street Fighter 1, it's a roster, so there's not
Yeah.
a protagonist. So I'm gonna say Samus.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Very fair.
I don't like either of them. I've got to say Cloud.
Yeah.
I have not played Final Fantasy VII, but I've been like you and me. How I've said you think Metal Gear's amazing now because I've gaslit you. I've been gaslit.
If I'm disappointed, I'm gonna be so angry.
I've been gaslit so much. Like I think we all have. How good Final Fantasy 7 is.
Aloy.
I'm sorry, you're just wrong.
No.
Yeah,
That hair is just iconic as it is.
Yes, the Buster Sword.
I'm sure the games are fun if you're a weeb. That's not my vibe.
I'm sorry. Failed Trunks Super Saiyan is not as good as Aloy.
How dare you compare him to Trunks?
Yeah, honestly.
Trunks is a way better
But
character.
I know.
I don't like Aloy getting up this high. Aloy's so boring. That stopped me playing the game.
She's just a pick-me
Yeah.
protagonist. She sucks. Her voice actress is annoying. The combat, really, really cool. It could have been done with a much better character.
Yeah.
Cool they changed how she looked in the second game. Still doesn't make her enjoyable to play as.
I
She's
disagree
just
with
so
all that, but
needy.
Just
we
so
need to move on.
nothing. Yeah.
Skip it.
We can't skip it. What do you think?
No.
So just pick Cloud. Don't.
Yeah, Cloud.
Okay, we'll go Cloud.
I don't agree, but anyway. Master Chief. No contest.
So it's Crash Bandicoot versus
Master
versus
Chief.
Chief. I'm gonna have to give it to Master Chief.
Yeah, Master
There's
Chef.
no Master Chef.
He hasn't had any real competition yet.
You're hot and
Not
you're
really, but
cold.
Dante versus Ezio.
I'm sticking with my original vote. Why is he so much smaller?
Because he is.
They didn't scale it. Yeah, I'm gonna say Ezio as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, they're both charming, witty characters.
Yes.
My name is Ezio Auditore.
I really like Dante and some of the stuff in the new
You
one.
killed my father.
So,
Prepare
yeah.
to die.
All right, we'll do Ezio. Ezio.
Mr. Montoya.
Okay, Samus Aran versus Cloud Strife. Who's a better character?
I don't want Final Fantasy to get through.
Yeah.
And with all Brock's been hyping up Metroid, let's give it to Metroid.
Yeah. I will
Thank
say,
you.
I think Metroid is getting too high for how little character development and how much little goes into that game.
Well, it's probably going to lose out in the next one because I'm
It's
going
going
to
to come up against
Master Chief versus
versus
Ezio.
Master Chief, surely.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. And there it
Samus
goes.
Aran versus Master Chief.
I love Samus, but Master Chief wins this.
Yeah.
Multiple
And you know what?
times
I
over.
reckon Master Chief had a lot of inspiration from Samus,
Oh, for sure. Yes.
and was done way better.
Mm.
Way better.
part of me definitely wants to, and I know we're going to get comments on this one, parts of me wants to do I don't want to give it to we assume white dude.
No, we know white dude. We know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the TV show, right?
Oh,
No.
yeah, that's on Netflix now.
Yeah.
No, I skipped that abomination.
One of
terrible.
my friends watched it and he goes, "It's actually really good." And I was like,
What brick hit you in the head?
but then I've heard season 2 is of a lot. I think they've done a season 2. I think it's infinitely better than
Yes,
the first
they
season.
took on a lot of feedback and actually listened.
Some of the fight scenes in the first season were very, very funny to watch. The movement is just so. Well, you were talking about Sonic the other day, the Sonic racing game. They're sliding all over the place.
Yes.
It's not good.
Yeah, but I think Master Chief
Yeah.
clears Samus in basically every department.
Yeah.
And then
All right, so
no,
Solid Snake versus Master Chef. Master Chief versus Solid Snake. Who's a better character?
Chief wins. For me, at least.
You reckon Chief wins?
I reckon Chief wins.
I reckon Snake wins. These are two of my favorite games of all time, but there's so much more with Snake. Master Chief's very iconic, and it's the only thing that Microsoft's really banking on now. But there's just so much with Snake. I mean, Chief's a cool protagonist, but I think there's a lot more going on with Snake.
fair.
What do you think, Ben?
I haven't played enough of the story on either of them.
Either of them, yeah.
I played definitely a lot more Halo. I've played maybe 10 hours of Phantom Pain.
Yeah. It's not even this character.
No.
A lot more digestible Halo, 100%.
I think purely on the size of the IP when it comes to Master Chief is it's Microsoft's whole character.
Yep.
I think I'm going to have to go Master Chief.
Master Chief? All right, we'll go Master Chief then.
I don't think you can be angry at either of those options.
No, I reckon. So we got Master Chief as the best protagonist. I reckon out of this whole thing, I know you're angry and Brock, but I don't think it's too bad.
Why? I'm not that angry.
Well, there's some of them you're like,
One or two of them.
I can't believe this.
One or two of them I think should have gone at least one bracket further, but I'm not unhappy with that.
It should have been Atlas and Peabody.
Fuck off.
But
Ellie was losing regardless, though, no matter who she was up against.
yeah, no, I think this is a pretty good result.
Oh, I don't know. Where's my boy Sora? There's quite a few people that could have been in there.
I would fight you to the death if you're saying Sora.
Would have been an interesting inclusion on there at least.
Over Ellie. Just replace Ellie off the table altogether.
Yeah, I mean, like, name a bigger downgrade in a character over time.
Yeah, they kind of butchered the second
Bubsy
half.
the Bobcat.
What happened in his character arc?
There was none. It basically got hinted at, and then it was just like, no, we made a crappy 3D remake.
I mean, Ellie, like, man, I think
That
everything
first
else in
game
that
arc,
game.
that first game arc is top tier.
Yep.
Starts off like the game 2 really, really good, and then you just get less likable as the game goes
You know
on.
what? Like, and I know that's what Neil Druckmann was going for, but it's like, yeah, you just made a shit story.
Yep.
You're not making it it's not enjoyable.
No.
Well, it's not supposed to be.
That's why we play the game.
Yeah.
It doesn't make
And you
any
know
sense.
what? Some of the decisions he makes for characters and things in that game could have still happened. Maybe different times.
Yeah.
Maybe different ways. Like,
Not 15 minutes into the second game.
I still think that is such a bad
I
idea.
can't wait for people's reaction when the show comes out.
Yes.
My mum is going to be so pissed.
Do you reckon they're going to stick to it, or do you reckon they're going to take
I think there'll
artistic
be.
liberties?
I think it will be in there. I dare say it's probably going to be the end of. You've played the second one, part 2?
No.
No, he knows.
Okay.
You know it though, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, you know what? It's been an hour in. Fuck it, just spoil it. Who cares?
No one. We don't have that good retention. I
for
think
clips.
they're going to take his death and put it right at the end of the second season.
Oh, as a cliffhanger, you reckon? Or
Not even a
cliffhanger,
cliffhanger, just
it's
like because they said that they're going to explore the time gap between 1 and 2.
Because the stuff. I don't know if you've seen any of the stuff between like the flashbacks from 2. That was the best part of the game.
Oh,
they had
hands down.
They went to like an abandoned museum,
Yeah.
and he tried like it's really good stuff and very reminiscent of the first game. And then they just fuck it up.
Yep.
Last of Us 2, I just can't believe how much of a misstep that game was. And it's like everyone was like, oh, gamers raging at it at the
the
time.
amount of
I don't know anyone
people
who's
I see
done 180
saying
on
that
it.
he is the not the hidden enemy, but he is ultimately a bad guy just because he used to be with like the hunters camp or whatever.
Well, that's not the main thing. The main thing is that at the end of the first game. You played the first game, haven't you?
No, it's one of those ones where like
Yeah.
I've got it there waiting to be played. I settle.
He's pointing at the camera.
I've got it there waiting to be played.
Yeah.
But I haven't sat down and played it other than watching someone else play it.
If the game has been remastered,
I want to play it though.
If the game's been remastered twice,
Yes.
you're holding too long onto the game to I'll play it a little
I've
bit
had
later.
other stuff to play though.
This game came out in like 2013.
I've got to play
Cool.
Sonic for the 85th time.
We'll get onto that, the different thing. End of the first game, Joel decides to kill the doctors and save her rather than letting her die to cure. Yeah.
And it's revenge or like atonement for that because he killed these innocent doctors. That's what the whole idea is, and say, oh, he was a bad person, but it was to save Ellie because
He felt bad because it reminds him of his daughter.
that he grew attached to her.
Yeah.
Like at the
They
start
were
of the
traveling
game,
across
yeah.
across the country for
And
what?
it took him like a year or two or
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, the big thing was that he took him out because to get the cure out of her or extract XYZ thing, they had to kill her. It's like, no, that's not happening. That's my girl now, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Type of thing. But the stuff they did in 2, it just...
ridiculous. But back to the original thing.
Yeah.
I think the big cliffhanger at the start of the second game, which is him getting pulverized with a golf club, literally 15 minutes into the game, will be at the end of season 2, and all the flashback stuff we get throughout the rest of The Last of Us 2 is going to be all up until then. I think we're going to see a lot more on Abby in between because she's already been cast and she's in season 2, which not after the game. I'm actually excited to see what they do with her. Because it can't be
They're
as
gonna
bad
have
as
to do something.
Yeah. But even then, I think that's how they're going to stretch it out, and then it'll be a bit more of a build up, and then that last episode will happen, and you'll see him get pulverized. Everyone will be like, "What the hell did I just watch?" And then you've got to wait for season 3.
I reckon. No,
No.
I reckon because there's too much time to try and fill up a seat. Like there's very little they showed in those cutscenes to warrant a full season. I think you're on the right track. Mid-season break.
It depends if they do a mid-season break.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They did do a mid-season break with the last one.
Yeah, no, but that's tend to be like show's big now. Let's do that.
But even then, they did a whole episode on Bill and what's his name from,
Yeah,
and they stretched that into. I think that won an Emmy for that episode or something
they
like
did.
that. But I think they could do some of that stuff, like the museum one, probably not. But there's episodes in
but
there.
the thing is, it's like they still got through the whole game for that time, and they probably had, hey, we've got enough space to do some extra things.
Yeah.
Here you go. Where it would be completely uncharted territory.
Did they do Left Behind in? Was it Left Behind? The Last of Us?
Yeah.
Was
No,
that-
they didn't. Oh, did they?
I think they did. I remember. No, I
Yeah,
think-
they did. Yeah,
I'm
they
surprised
did. I'm
that-
asking Brock as if he knows.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, I think
sorry.
like if they spent a whole episode on that, which that flashback between them doing other stuff throughout the episode, because it wasn't just that as one episode, they could easily do that with make the cutscenes 20, 30 minutes into segments in the show.
Also, I know we're going and we're basically going to Last of Us talk now, but I'm all about it. What's your thoughts on them still casting Bella Ramsey as Ellie for these new seasons?
I think they're doing it out of spite just because everyone didn't like her original casting originally. If they would be like, we're going to do this person for Bella Ramsey's young Ellie and then get someone else in for adult Ellie, no one would have batted an eye. But as soon as they cast her as Ellie to start with, I think they were like, fuck the fans, we're doing this now because we like her as an actress and we're just going to keep her going.
I have no opinion on it because I haven't watched the first season yet.
No.
I'm waiting for the second season to be fully out.
Stop with the waiting.
No, because then I can sit there and just binge watch it.
You can binge watch it now.
I can binge watch the first season. I can't.
I
binge
would
watch the second
recommend
season.
before the second season, you watch the first season, then you play the game and work out what you prefer best. Because I would
Yeah, no, that
recommend.
would be a good comparison. You
I
should do
would-
that for on
I
here.
would not recommend playing the game then watching the show. If you haven't played the game, watch the first season, then play the game and be like, "What do you think? Which one do you think did it better?" Because I think you'll think the
That
game
would be
did
very
it.
interesting to see from you, actually.
Then we can have a segment.
The
Rock
reason I say is, do you know what Bella Ramsey looks like, right?
I do.
They're pretty young.
They have a very young face.
They're
yes.
23 or 24.
Yeah, but they look way too young to play older Ellie because they look almost identical to the first season, and the whole Ellie looks a lot different in that second game.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing where I'm like, oh,
And tall is the bigger thing
yes.
because it's, I don't,
And that
I don't get it.
tall and lanky.
Yep.
Where Ellie was sort of like, she's definitely not on par with all the Marauder guys going around, but she's on their level at least because
She's built.
Yeah, she's
and
built and she's got the knowledge and
Yeah.
all that stuff. I don't know. I think Bella Ramsey did an amazing job in that first season. Really good job.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. I think it's going to be one of those times where very rare the casting takes me out of it.
Yeah.
Especially if she has her partner like in the game and the partner's going to look way older.
No, I think they've done the reverse. The partner now suits the look of Bella Ramsey.
Still going to look like kids though. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's why I'm hoping that there's more time before the end of season 2. I think that I want them to stretch it out more, just on the sheer hope that she may
21.
They may get older. But
Like that was Bella Ramsey. They were in Game of Thrones, right?
yeah,
Yes.
Lady Mormont.
Does look younger there, but doesn't actually look that much older there. It's sort of done like, you know who else it gives me that effect? Millie Bobby Brown.
Yep.
You look at first season of Stranger Things, yes, very much she's young.
Yeah.
You go to the newer seasons or newer stuff she's in, oh, she's older. She still looks like she could be like 16 though.
Yeah.
Hence
Doesn't
her,
look that much older.
Yeah.
her ginormous outrage on Instagram the other day about celebrity media outlets still comparing her to expecting her to act like a child, even though she's now 22 and married.
Yeah, something like that.
Big blow up. Not
Which honestly, I think that's justified.
very justified.
21.
Yeah, because they're
21.
still like they're like, oh, she's trying to look older than she is. It's like
She's 21.
She's a 21-year-old
Well,
female
like,
who
who's big and young at the moment? How old's Sabrina Carpenter?
Oh, she was a Disney Channel kid. She's much older. She's like 26, 27, 25.
25. Not that much older. She's 4 years older. And people have got no problem with her looking older.
Yeah, but I think
It's
she
just
went,
because- yeah.
she went the other way. She went, oh, I'm a Disney Channel kid, and then nothing. Music career, over-sexualized.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just...
God, it would
Which
suck to be a
is-
woman.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's an unfortunate thing for a lot of child actors. Like, look at Emma Watson, exact same thing.
I don't know. Emma
She
Watson...
aged well with her character.
Yes.
Yes, because the character, but that was also because the movies were spaced out enough that they could easily do
I think
that.
the Harry Potter movies were actually one of the best examples of that, yeah, where they very much
Which-
every movie, they almost feel like they're on par with that age.
Which I got told, I don't know how true this is, I got told that the actual shooting of those movies, they held off until they had the scripts entirely finalized in order to give the actual actors time to more resemble the age the characters would be like
Yeah.
for that, so that there was an actual clear passage of time.
Well, I mean, the way that when they started it, they were 11.
Absolutely.
They were about to start going through puberty. The second one, they're a little bit older, but they still look the same. Third
One's when it's like, oh, yep, puberty.
Yeah.
But which is what I was about to say. With the third movie, that's when they changed the director from Chris Columbus or whatever it was
to David
Al.
Yates.
No, it was Al. There was one guy who did the third one,
And then the rest was David Yates.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
I just remember that because that's my high school maths teacher's name.
in the third one, his name's like it's got Alfred, his Italian guy.
Hitchcock.
Alfred. No, but for the movie, he thought it'd be a good idea to let the students dress themselves and do their own hair.
I do remember
That's
hearing
Yes.
this.
why.
Suddenly Emma Watson's wearing tighter clothing than
That's
any of the
not at
other
all where I
movies.
was going. I meant like their hair and costume and that sort of stuff. I know where you're getting it, but yes.
That's
But-
like the most famous scene from it is the three of them like walking out on the hill and she's wearing the pink tight-fitting sweater thing.
Yeah, but that's same difference. The point of that is that they wanted to make them look like they're going through puberty. They're out of home. They've got all the hormones. They've got messy hair. Their stubble beard. Their shirts aren't tucked in. They don't know how to tie ties.
Yeah.
That was his whole direction for that third movie, and it worked really well. And then they carried that on to the fourth one because they all look ratty.
They look very disheveled, yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, like they
Alfonso
Alfonso
Cuarón.
Cuarón. Yeah.
Yeah, he just did the third one. I'm pretty sure. Mike Newell is rough.
I don't know what Mike Newell did. We'll have a look. But yeah, no, they definitely aged appropriately and they felt like they've gone on. And if you see a movie with Daniel Radcliffe or I don't know if Rupert Grint does any movies really anymore besides
That one he did.
or
I don't think
music
he needs
videos
to.
with
It's
bloody
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
That's what I'm thinking of,
But
actually.
yeah, if you see a movie with Emma Watson in it, I know you're gonna get it's Harry Potter, but they look appropriate for the movie.
Yeah.
You're not like, oh, you're 12.
I think the last movie that she did was like the Perks of Being a Wallflower movie, and
Yeah.
it was just enough after Harry Potter, which you could look at her and be like, that's Hermione, and there was no difference at all because it was like a year or two after the last one.
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe now, he's a Nazi in one movie. He's got a devil with horns. Like he completely
Swiss
went.
Army man.
Yeah.
I mean,
He just didn't want to do
we've
what he
talked
wanted
about
to
this
do.
before. Yeah, he'd earned his money. He could go off and do all the little artsy fartsy
Yeah,
movies
exactly.
and explore whatever he wanted to.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's going back to the thing with Bella Ramsey. I think which I mean, probably in the long run is good. They just look very youthful. And I just don't think it fits the character.
Not when there's a 6-year time jump
No,
between
and
game 1 and
it's
2.
very distinct.
Which honestly, that's if 6 years, that's more than enough time for them to just like add in stuff and explore stuff. I still think Ben's right. I think it's going to end with Joel getting.
Oh,
whacked
I would not be surprised. It does seem like it's a lot makes me the whole season's going to be new material. Then.
Oh yeah, that's
the only thing that
It's just a filler season.
yeah.
Yeah, well, they're going to stretch it out. They're not going to just have it as
Yeah.
the straight plot from 2 because then they can't bank on more money for the TV show because this is not a third game yet.
Yeah, I don't think there will be a third game.
Yeah, I think they're working on it. It's nowhere near being close to finished development or even like in that realm.
I don't know if are you sure they're going to do a third game?
No, Neil Druckmann's talked about doing a third one.
Neil Druckmann talks about a lot of shit, man. He's
Ugh.
full of it.
He's the new Peter Molyneux.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, it's... I want to go on a bit of movie talk now. I don't care that we're at this time. Let's keep going.
I do. I need a piss.
Oh, well, you can go piss and we can cancel then.
No. See, I like movie talk. Pop culture podcast.
Yeah, podcast. I was just going to say another like child actor like that. They look similar, but they look older and they can do stuff is the Culkin
Yeah.
Oh,
brothers. Macaulay and
Kieran
Culkin.
See, this is the first time I'm ever hearing he had a brother.
Wait, no,
Holy heck, okay.
You know
explain
Kieran
this one.
Culkin. You surprisingly, there's probably a lot of stuff that you've seen. Go. Wait, do you want me to speak or wait till you come back? Okay. Yeah, Kieran Culkin, he's been an actor for years, and you probably thought it was Macaulay because they look so similar.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
pull it up for me. This is...
Kieran Culkin just won an Oscar.
If anyone's like somehow missed who Macaulay Culkin was, he was the kid who played like Home Alone, all of those.
Richie Rich.
Richie Rich, yeah. What was the other one he did?
This is Kieran Culkin.
Okay.
He looks identical, doesn't he?
Wait. I have seen him in something.
Yeah, so...
Go to that next. Yes, I've seen him as like look more like no, the next one with his brother. I've seen him like that.
So I think he's a year
it?
or two older than Macaulay.
This has got to
calm down.
It's gonna bug me.
I'll
for the
look at
rest
the
of
movies that
night
he's
now.
on. But basically, he's in Scott Pilgrim. The movie. He's the roommate.
Oh, he's the roommate. Yes, he's
What's
Scott.
his name?
No, not Scott.
Let me get it up. I'll get his thing up. Early work, blah, blah, blah. Let's go down to the bottom. Oh, that doesn't have a thing for him. I might look at his
filmography. Yeah.
filmography. I'll look at him on IMDb maybe. But
I should remember this.
that's the one that's probably the easiest to be like, yeah, you know him from this. Known for
Travis. No, not Travis.
these are all in order. I want to go the other
It'd
way
be
around.
2016 something.
Project type.
No, it'd be before that. It'd be 20.
What are you trying to
For I'm trying to remember the roommate's name. What time and what
I'll
year
be
it
able
was
to-
out.
Oh, it's 2009, I think it said. What's his
Well
actual thing?
before.
He was in Home Alone. He might have been a stand-in for Macaulay.
Yeah. Father of the Bride.
Father of the Bride,
Home Alone
2, I think stand-ins.
Frasier. Okay.
I think he looked different enough from his brother that
I just showed him a photo of them when they were a little bit older kids, like probably
Just
teens.
scroll down because like we got a while to go.
Yeah, he's in Robot Chicken. I think he's
Oh,
done
it's a voice,
he's done a
yeah.
few voices before. He's on V. Graham Norton. What the hell's the difference between that? Or whatever. Michael Jackson's Private Home Movies.
and the Ellen Show. Oh god,
Oh god.
50 more.
Oh god, I've done the wrong thing here by doing this. Paperman.
Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim.
Wallace. That was
Wallace,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
hilarious.
Yeah, he was very good in that role. I
Yeah.
think that was like one of his only ones around that period.
Movie 43.
43, got it. He was in Fargo. Long Live the Royals.
That's a great show.
He was in a movie about the band Mayhem, which is a Swedish death metal band that ended up torching a ton of churches in Sweden or Denmark or I forget which.
Norway.
Norway, one of those countries around there.
Scandinavian.
Scandinavian country, and their first album cover was their lead singer after he had shot himself in the head with a shotgun. one of the guys came in, took a photo of it, and they used it as the album cover.
Kurt Cobain POV.
Yeah,
Right.
basically.
Okay.
But no, he just won
He was best
An Oscar.
best supporting actor.
Best Supporting Actor for
I
We
can't believe I didn't know that.
something.
I saw the trailer for that movie, and he was bonkers in it.
It's on Disney Plus now
Oh, really?
because it's a Fox Searchlight movie. So yeah. It's
Oh,
on
okay,
there.
that's cool.
What was the movie called? It's Oh, it's gonna do my head in before we see this thing here.
I can't see anywhere where it's got a concise list of the stuff he's been in.
No, hang on, scroll down. It'll say A Real Pain is the movie.
Yeah, A Real Pain.
It's got Jesse
Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna say Mark Zuckerberg, but they look the same and they played the same character. You know what I mean?
Apparently, he didn't want to do that movie, and he sort of who was it? Someone was the executive producer, or Emma Stone produced it, and she basically said to him, you're fucking doing this movie, I don't care. Pulled him over, and he gave like one of the best performances as supporting actor people have ever seen or something.
Yeah.
He's
He's very charismatic in the trailer. I've seen.
He's a very good actor. He hasn't done a ton, but
He's halfway to an EGOT, so
good on him. Not many people done that.
You'll have to explain that one.
Emma
Emmy, Golden Globe, Oscar,
Oscar
and
and
Tony Award. Is it people
Impressive.
who have
Okay.
all of them? Yeah,
Yeah.
a fair few people are very close,
yes,
and
very,
there's some
very
people
close.
it's like, why do you have all these? Like Whoopi Goldberg's got an EGOT.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Whoopi Goldberg was huge in like 80s and 90s. So
What was Whoopi Goldberg even famous for besides that dinosaur detective movie?
Soul Sisters
Yeah, that's what I
and
thought.
I mean, as a stand-up comic, she was massive as well.
Yeah, I've only ever seen her on The View, and I'm like, no.
I think that's where she got the Emmy.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have
Yeah.
been The View. Yeah. Speaking of, I've been watching a bit of TV shows again.
Mhm.
This is going to be a long episode.
There's not much else you can do with TV shows,
Yeah.
honestly. But
Oh, you could shit on them. Do that a
like
bit.
we're about to.
That's right. We don't own any.
I tell
of
you
them,
what,
so
I
it's
started
fine.
watching because we were talking about Hollywood. I started watching last night with the lizard, Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah,
I can't believe how good it is. I should have suspected it because a lot of old people.
Kevin Costner is fantastic.
Yeah,
as well.
he's very good in it. He's very, very good.
Dances with Wolves as well. Top tier movie.
Yes. God, I haven't seen that. movie in a
We
long
watched that
time.
in geography
In
or history or something.
History in school. Yep.
That was-
remember
I will say,
Oh, it's great.
I like Kevin Costner. Very, very. Always plays as like a particular type of character.
And he nails
Typecast to like oblivion, honestly.
All I'm thinking
but-
is him in Man of Steel. He's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
such a good photo.
Yeah, they're trying to
The memes
stop
that
it,
came
yeah.
from that one,
Yeah.
still alone, were great.
Me when your boy is talking to the 3 out of 10 best friend while you're trying
Yeah.
to secure the bag, and it's
Yeah.
just like
I will say Kevin Costner's always been one of those actors where he's like
I've got one to say as well, but
where he's
great in Hidden Figures as well.
he's famous, but he's never been really AAA. He's been
He's
like
top of B,
proper B grade or like like bottom of
bottom A.
bottom A, and he's been doing this trend that a lot of movie actors have been starting to do. What are you laughing at?
oh god, the thing I got to say to Ben in a second.
I won't say it to him then.
The meme of him that like I best remember is just the pose from the Superman with him there, and it's just like your dad when he's just destroyed the toilet and your sister's about to enter the room.
That's not as funny as my one.
I don't care. It's the one that makes me giggle all the time.
Sir, security camera.
Yeah, sir. Security camera.
Took me so long to get that, but it's still so funny.
Yeah, I remember that. But no, he's one of those people, and I've been seeing it in recent times. Movie actors who haven't been hitting it as well, fuck it, let's try TV, and they smash it out of the park.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because TV has become the new cinema.
Yep. Thank you, Sopranos.
Yep. Shout out to The Sopranos.
Did
Yep.
see a thing about The Sopranos the other day where it's like I miss them, and it's the Costco kid, whatever it is,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the thing, and he
yeah.
goes, didn't even realize it was edited.
That the Rizzler was there.
Yeah. Oh god.
Yeah, no, I need to find another good show. Since now I've been the problem of finding a good show while you're
Yeah.
watching it with someone. You got to wait for them to be ready to watch it again. I just want to.
Redo Daredevil.
I never really got into Daredevil. Never finished it.
I'm rewatching it now. It's a lot more enjoyable than I remember.
Also, I got rid of Disney. There was like nothing on there.
I'll
that
give you
I
my
wanted.
Disney.
Oh, okay, that'd be epic.
It's going up to $20 a month too. No.
What?
It went up from 13 or whatever to 17 about 6 months back.
Oh god.
And then they're going up to 20. KO's now $40.
Yeah, I heard that.
Have you seen
That's
that
ridiculous.
YouTube's announcing a different tier? It's like a lower tier now. So you got like YouTube Premium, and then you've got like a
What, with ads?
mid-tier one. Yeah, basically, I can't remember the exact difference between it. I think it does have doesn't have mid-roll ads or something.
No, that sucks.
Prime got ads. I mean, for $70 for a year, I'll cop the ads. I don't care.
It's annoying, but I'll still deal
It's always
with it.
about stuff on their platform anyway. It's like, oh, that's cool. I'll watch that.
I watched a movie on Tubi a couple months ago. All the ads were for vibrators. It was the exact same one
Just
over and
install
over again.
ad block, and it gets rid
It
of
was
half of
it
that
was
at
on
least.
an original Chromecast
Oh, okay.
from a phone.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, the Costinator.
He's got to be in the thumbnail.
He is best video game protagonist.
Dude, this one.
Yeah. All right.
I'm hot and sweaty.
All right,
Hot
shall we
and
end it
cold.
there?
What are
MasterChef.
we gonna do?
We will save it there.
Yeah. Okay.
I honestly thought it was going to take him longer to get that then.
Yeah.
I'm tired. This is why I'm saying we need to end it here. Anyway, it's saved.
All right.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Hey, megabyte memory dick.